Alright, y'all, what's good? So, I'm playing some Fortnite just for a little bit. We're coming down to crunch time. PS5 is almost here, and the semester's almost done. This year is almost over. I'm glad this whole politics stuff is off the television. Um, I'm happy for the result that we got. Presidency, but honestly, I feel like in a sense the damage has already been done. Political views and stuff up there. I don't really believe in all that forcing beliefs on the people. I don't believe in that, but yeah, it's just one of those things where I feel like the damage, like if anything has happened within regards to something where you don't like a particular outcome. I'm not talking about politics in general. I'm just talking about like just general stuff, like like school life. You gotta. The only thing we can really do is just keep pushing through whatever it is or whatever problem we got. But a lot of people lose faith or whatever, and just like if things don't get better, I guess 2020. I mean, I'm a little bit more positive now. I mean, I had like the last like 2 months. I mean, been a little bit difficult for me, but I'm still getting through it. Um, some stuff I realized, some stuff really ain't got nothing to do with you, honestly, and we just leave it at that. But yeah, man, it really has nothing to do with you. So, like for instance, like you can't really fathom. Like a lot of people come in like in a financial spot, right? Look what I mean by that. It's like, okay, let's say someone has like a rough time with a significant other, something like that. They're not making money, or like let's say someone's married and they're a particular breadwinner of the house, and their marriage already on the rocks, or something like that. And they'll try and do better, pick it up a little bit, and then the pandemic hits. They have no money, no savings, or nothing like that, emergency funds. And let's throw in a common thing with like men that we have a problem with. Like, let's say something like someone likes to play poker, they have a gambling like addiction or something like that. I could understand why someone's wife would leave them in that particular instance because it's not good for the family. Like you're squandering money that should be for like the household. So I can see that. I can see that. There's nothing unreasonable about that, but I feel like it can get people definitely a little bit like depressed or whatever. I really don't get like depressed at all. Like sometimes I may, but sometimes I just don't. I be anxious about stuff really more so I do be depressed or something like that. But there's one thing you gotta live with. There's eustress and there's distress. Eustress is good stress. Like getting a high paying job, whatnot. I'm trying to find Wolverine. I know he's out here. That's all I'm trying to figure out where Wolverine's at. I mean, I kind of wasted time by just like doing this, but me not really. But yeah, life's unpredictable, man. But like I'm saying, if someone really wanna like deal with you, they will deal with you. It really got nothing to do with that, but that's not the point. But I realize a lot of stuff people say and do, it don't really matter what it is. A lot of stuff people say and do is detestable. Like if you really think about it. Like for instance, let's say, for instance, someone gives you their word that they're gonna give you. I'm not gonna even say give you, because give you something is just like very limited. Like okay, and let's say someone is talking about they're gonna give you $5 or something like that. I'm not gonna say $5, but like you made an agreement on something, whether or not like for instance, you get to do someone on the side, give them $10 for a haircut or something like that. Then they tell you you got their word, they're gonna pay you back, whatever. That don't even make sense how I got the backpack. Now I gotta try to find Wolverine. That's it. He already dead. If he's not dead already. Nobody came in. I don't believe so. But yeah, man, there's a whole lot of stuff too that I really had to take into account. That a lot of stuff, a lot of people having worse years than I'm having, but in terms of certain stuff, like a lot of people live a whole lot worse than what you live. Like even if you poor in a certain place, like in the United States, it's better to be poor here than to be poor somewhere else. At least you got like a chance. It may not seem like it, but yeah, at least you got a fighting chance. Because at least it's not like the currency and stuff is worthless or something like that. But there's a whole lot of other factors come with that. Where's Wolverine? Hey. Oh, there you go. What? Man, I got fucking killed by Wolverine, man. Fuck. Wolverine is tough to kill. That's some bullshit, but you know, it is what it is. I can try hopefully with one of my friends later, but I might just play squads because I might just play it again. I'm not sure, but that was some bullshit. And yeah, that was some bullshit. And I didn't have that many guns, and then I had the little fucking jetpack bullshit that fucking failed me, but excuse my language, but like I would say in a traditional sense, like this school stuff or just going to school in the pandemic and the fact that everything is literally shut down on your life is like completely, I mean, everybody's experiencing this whole thing, so it's just not me. Everybody, but I feel like the hoodwinking is people trying to say it's just not that bad, or I mean, it is that bad. I mean, literally 109,000 cases each day, and that number's only coronavirus is just literally exponential at this point. It's out of control. So there's no type of like, there's no sugarcoating that the government and, you know, our elected officials fucked up. There's no doubt about that. I don't care. People talking about Cuomo, all these different people, politics and stuff. I'm not really a big proponent of politics. I think politics is just rather, in a sense, you know, it don't matter what political party. Everybody has their dirty laundry. Everybody has their dirty laundry. You think about it, like, for instance, Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, these people want to vote on women's bodies, what they can do, but they send up here, God, having extramarital affairs and stuff, and having, uh, you know, illegitimate children. But you want to tell, like, you don't, like, they'll pay money, seriously, hush money to these people to keep these people from talking, or this information from coming out publicly. I mean, that's a good and a bad thing. I hope people realize that that's a good and a bad thing, because that would ruin their career. But at the same time, some of these people's career, you think about it, they've done more harm than good than it is for people. That's the way I look at stuff. Like, I'm not really one of those people who just like, yeah. Like, a lot of stuff, too, you gotta be careful, too, is take stuff people say at face value, because you seriously believe it, or whatever it is talking about, is not necessarily representative of the whole thing. Like, someone talking about there's a new stimulus bill for, you know, $200 billion or something like that, or, you know, let's say, let's say like in the north of, I would say, $6 trillion for the next unforeseeable, you know, 7 months. That's all good and all, but you think about the long-term effects. Like, you know, the businesses and these restaurants are going to get the most money. Than they made in a while. We know that. That's given. But at the same time, I don't think that you can recover from that. What? I fucked up there. But anyway, I hope I go to a spot where Wolverine's at. We're just gonna have to try. But I just want to talk for a second. Like, I just said even the way just certain stuff is handled, like it's just at school. Like, for me, I know that like my president at my university died from contracting COVID. It was outside of campus, but that's just still bad. Like, my school has had like 6 presidents over the last, what, 5, I would say, probably say the last 6. We had 6 presidents, and we just had like 4 within the last like 2 year and a half, basically. And out of our 12 president history. And people always trying to sugarcoat stuff. Like, no, like, you need to be transparent. And a lot of stuff, I could see why certain people don't want certain information out there about like just certain matters or pertinent information. But I'm not talking about financial. I'm just talking about like, all these protocols and procedures and stuff like that. You're working for $15 an hour or something like that, or you're doing something. Or these people, people working jobs. I don't have an issue with people working jobs. I just have problem with people working and not being fairly compensated. I feel like that's one of the main components that I just really see myself just not really dealing with. Like if you had to ask me, what's a decent job? Like, a decent job to me is a job that don't seem like a job. You get breaks, you get, like, they have wellness time, like them to have a gym where you can work out or whatever, or something like that. You actually have time to do that. And you get vacation time, it's just healthy. It's a good work-life balance. A lot of stuff that jobs out here don't have good work-life balance. And that's not an exaggeration. Like, you literally work a lot. There's no problem with working, but if it's unhealthy habit, like, no. Like I don't see anybody doing a job for like 15, 20 years or whatever. Of like, I see how some people like, the retirees. You see them old people. Like you see them old people work at them schools and stuff like that, and they're like 65. They're a retiree because they're trying to get that. They're trying to double dip to get the retiree money, and then I think that they get like $100. They get like $100 a day, so that's not even bad considering that you would probably work for like 60. I would say the minimum wage is like 7.25. At the end of the day, you work like what? A regular work day is like 8 hours. You make more. You make more money than you did with that than you did with working at like a McDonald's or something like that. And then another thing that component I got, I don't talk crap about people's job or whatever and stuff like that in a traditional sense. Like, but some stuff is just not cutting it. Like if someone's working at a what you call it, let me think of a job like a McDonald's and been working there. They're a grown adult. Like I'm talking about a grown adult, like they are at least like 32, and they're not in any path to become a manager. The thing about it, McDonald's and stuff like that have some modules and stuff. They have a plan for people to actually go and learn all these relevant skills. But I mean, but $46,000. I mean, that's decent. But I mean, can you sustain a family off that? Maybe one to two, maybe a wife and a kid. But past that, you got like 3 kids. You're not raising no kid off $46,000. No man. Get a kid a Christmas with that one. I'm gonna try to go back here, find this, what you call it, Wolverine. See if he's even back here. It's hard to find. I think I see somebody. Nah, it's just a fish. Or it's just like too, like schools, like we talking about underperforming schools, and there need to be more funding for the schools. thing about the schools, it's like the county board of commissioners, wherever you live at, those people are responsible why you don't get books, why you don't like, and all this stuff. I mean, I'm just saying it. I mean, I don't really try to force my opinions and stuff, my beliefs on people, but no, critical thinking is just not really kind of a big thing. And then instead of like, teachers and stuff getting mad at the students, like, well, no, I mean, think about just like the whatever the school board's doing in your particular municipality or whatever stuff that you got. I mean, you're not even getting some of the information that you need to even be a successful student, for one. Because I know for sure when I was in school, like when I was in high school, elementary school, just growing up, like literally we didn't hit the marks for some of this stuff, and we would get all these little test items, all this little stuff. We didn't never even cover the concepts for the stuff. And then at the end of, like when we had the end of grade testing or the end of course, we would see things that we never seen before on this test. And then they said it was field test, so some of these items and stuff is not going to count. But they did count. In a way it did, because it showed whether or not you actually learned a particular concept. And I'm really not like a big fan of that type of stuff, where you're learning stuff and then it goes through 1 year and out the other. It's like you're never going to use it. That's the same thing with statistics. I'm taking statistics in college right now, and I don't really like statistics. I mean, I think statistics is good, but it's like the same thing with me with accounting. Do I think accounting and stuff is important? Yeah, but if you had to ask me about all these different formulas and all this different stuff, like for instance with me, especially dealing with this accounting and all this different foolishness, these people talking about, asking you questions, what's g f of x and all this stuff. I feel like that stuff is important to know, but like if you're not telling people what g of f of x is, that's basically a function. So if you don't tell me that, stop saying g of f of x when you should just be saying what is the function of this actual output in the output. Like that puts people behind. Like I mean, the concept is fairly easy once you get it, but the Common Core stuff really set us back, man. And then they got the track where they doing all this other stuff. Like if you're in high school, at least in my state, where like you have to have like 4 maths, but you can take an alternative thing. It's called like AFM. So it's like it's function and modeling. So you do bell graphs, you do all this other stuff, and it's supposed to be representative of comprehensive stuff you should have learned in the past you incorporated. There's nothing that special to it, don't get me wrong, but it is a little bit difficult. I mean, on the final stuff I got an 82 on it, but that's a B, so I'm a little bit thankful for that. But that's stuff I'm talking about. Like nobody should be able to laser you like that. And I had a burst. I could have died. Like, can you imagine if I had died there? I would look like complete ass cheeks. But back to, I think, the misconceptions of like school. Like, if you really think about all this testing and stuff that you got, every week for me in math class and stuff like that, I would have a test. It didn't matter what it was, if I even had it. And the way that I feel like math, especially instruction time in school, is it's A-Day, B-Day. So you go to class every other day. So instead of like our like whole course thing in high school was literally 9 weeks. And you get a new set of classes where you at least were supposed to. But before we just had one thing and then we didn't have to take nothing the rest of the year. Like if we took English 1 or whatever, that would be it. We don't have to take no more like English, like electives or something like that. You could fill your classes up, whatever you wanted for the most part. That's if your counselor would allow that. But even some stuff really doesn't change, and I hate to say it like that, but it really doesn't. Like, even your own advisor, especially you're paying money to go to school, like go to college, your own advisor doesn't have no idea of what it is that you like, what you're trying to do. So I've pretty much had the same advisor for like what, like at this point going on like 3 years, and I mean he's my professor or whatever. But the guy is just kind of, I would say he's a little bit too stern and around the edges about certain stuff. I mean, I can't take him seriously. I mean, I'm not a serious person for the most part. But I don't take myself too seriously where, like, you know, a lot of people want to do the integrity of, like, maintain the integrity of something. I mean, that's important. I don't never, like, something serious, I'm very serious about it. But, like for instance, you know, like my professor said, for the last 3 weeks, we're going to be stepping up, We're going to be stepping up. We're going to be, he's going to be teaching after class for people who don't understand these concepts with statistics or whatever. And, he said we're going to be meeting every day. Where you at? Bruh. This goddamn Wolverine. I might ask somebody to help me with this bullshit. Cause that right there didn't make no fucking sense. But let me stop cussing. But like for instance, like let me be honest with you. Like, especially with school and statistics, all this other stuff, in college, you have to have 120 credits and stuff to graduate, and some of that stuff is not really representative. Like the college tuition, none of that stuff is really relevant. Like if you had to think about it, because it's not even taking into account your own like living situation. Like for instance, let me talk about living situation. For instance, living in a dorm, like you think about room and board, that's the most, I would say, essential thing that you have to have if you're going to live on a campus or whatever. But they don't tell you the price of actually living in a dorm. So if you want to live in a better place, they have mandatory stuff like where freshmen have to live, freshman residence hall, and they have upperclassmen. But there's no type of luxury. Then they have honors dorms. You don't really have to pay for that, I don't think. If you have a scholarship, you have a decent GPA. But yeah, they don't really tell you that. There's more stuff to it. And then on top of that, like to be considered a full-time student or part-time, one of the two, I know you have to take more than 12 credit hours to be considered. I am taking like 15. Right now, I'm gonna take French because that's an easy A for me. That's an easy A at this point. I just think that this semester, like my school has done stuff backwards, and what I mean by backwards is that it literally is backwards. So I will be transparent with backwards. Exactly what that is to me. Like for instance, if I'm going to school, right? And I'm supposed to be doing what I need to be doing. And the way my school said stuff, we were supposed to be doing stuff online. Primarily online because we have a lot of international students. You know, some of them stayed from March. I'm not sure how they did that. Just most of the people from our schools like from Bahamas and stuff like that. Yeah, stuff like that. So it's no big deal or nothing like that. It's just particularly interesting and stuff like that, but besides the point. We were supposed to accommodate those because we didn't think the people got flights back home. But the Bahamas has had a rough year because Abaco and all those different places they're completely tore up. It's never coming back. The Great Barrier Reef, all that stuff in Bahamas. That whole thing, that they had just tore it up. That tropical storm tore it up. And my official thoughts on certain stuff like, natural disasters, that stuff is like, you can't recover from that, and there's no natural thing that you can do. Like, New Orleans will be under sea level. It's like below sea level already. So within, I would say the next 30, 40 years, it's not going to be livable because whole New Orleans is going to be underwater. Like, the sea level is rising and it's below sea level. So it's just like, yeah, it's not going to be around. People not going to live there anymore. For what some stuff is worth, like if you think about it, like on average, I don't think you should really have to, like for instance, like you have to plan stuff accordingly in a way about like, I think I had to take like some type of geography class or whatever, something like that to that effect. And I mean, that stuff is important, all this different stuff. I mean, I had to take like 4 Englishes back to back, and I was only supposed to like, take like 2. Or whatever, I think so. But then my advisor put me back in some more stuff, and I guess reading and writing and then business reports and stuff, I mean, you have to learn how to type and stuff, write a paper in these formats, but I feel like graphs and stuff are more important than it is for a paper. But let me not say that, because I mean, that's subjective and not objective, because that's just me. But besides the point, I mean, I got A's and stuff in English. I'm not a bad paper writer or whatever, but I feel like a lot of stuff is really watered down the whole experience of, like, how can I say just a school? I won't say water it down, but, like, some stuff, it's not really a laughing matter in a way. It's just more so of, like, how can we try to maintain a program or whatever, or in my head, how can we try to maintain something in a way that's representative of the way we do things here? Like, and what I mean by that is like, okay, if we've been doing papers or reports for like 3 days, we had a whole week to do something, and then the next thing, we had to write a 5-page paper on business, on what our major and stuff is. I've had to do that. What? Bruh, he was dead. I'm gonna go back playing squads. At this point, I don't care. As long as Sean was here, I probably would play. But, he's not on right now. But I'll play some Save the World. Hopefully there's some people on it. But yeah, I'm about to get my PS5 in like 4 days. I'm gonna pick it up from a place that has 20 PS5s. The only games I probably want to have is Cold War, Mortal Kombat, and 2K. I don't really think I'm gonna be playing 2K, relatively speaking, because here's my thing: if the bar is set so high, and I already seen the leaked information about the whole thing, you literally get to play G League or college, play 4 years of college. I'm gonna go with the G League. We haven't had that type of thing since 2K10. I just think that, in all honesty, 2K, the bar is set so high, like current gen. I told somebody it's fun, but when you think about it after a while, like when the game came out the first week, it's better than 20 in a way, but then again, no, it's not. The restrictions, a 6'8" point guard, a 6'7" point guard, the small forward position has been shit for literally, maybe I would say at least 3 years. It's been shit. So 2K18 was, I would say 2K18 was the beginning of the end, relatively speaking. I like the dual archetypes, but the restrictions and so they impose upon you, it's not going to be good for the game. The long-term, stuff for the game. Like, if you have to be honest, how many people do you know are, like, you only see probably about three builds on 2K21. Playmaking, shot creator, paint beast, and let me think of a build. You don't really see rebounder wings that many of those. You might see like a 6'8" or 6'9" paint beast, but I mean that's all relative. And you might see a stretch. You might see a stretch playmaker or glass cleaner lock. Glass cleaner lock is up there, but I don't think that it's fun. It's particularly fun to see the same stuff. And I hope 2K will stop producing a PS, I would say not even a PS, like the PS exclusive stuff that they have, like talking about the packs. That is literally that literally is a small component of the game. That has some type of exclusive thing where you're providing a pack for free, and the packs that you get from just having the game is just shit. It really is. Like, I'm not trying to be, a lot of people say I'm a little bit too critical on these games, or I'm a constructive criticism. I mean, but you really have to be constructive about, what it is you're buying. My sister told me that, like, games and stuff, me and her was talking about that, how all this stuff, like these games, really can't sustain it. Like, a kid, this go around this year is not going to have a chance to get a PS5. The way it was pre-ordered, and then the stuff, and then if you think about if you're trying to get it from a third-party seller, you're basically at the whims of not getting one, at least this calendar year. And the fact there's not that many out here. You're not about to go to one, like Best Buy said they're not even carrying it in stores. And you may be looking, I don't even want to even take my chances of even buying anything online, because around the holidays and stuff, people gonna be boosting your stuff. And then the way I see it, to see the stuff, like, I'm studying, I study business in school, and the cost saving measures that what you call it, UPS and the stuff, they don't make left turns, and I live on the left hand side of the street, so I wouldn't get my packages and stuff first. They literally have to go all around my neighborhood and do all this bullshit and stuff like that. And then the worst part about the stuff that I think I've dealt with like UPS in a way is that I've gotten a damaged console before. Like, I've literally got a damaged console before. And that's why I'm going to take my chance and just go into a store. It's like 15 to 20 minutes away from my house, and it's located near a mall. But I know they got 20. Because the one near my house, they're only carrying 10. And I know a lot of people already live near that place, so I'm not going to go to that. I'm going to just go to a super Target. I know that don't make any sense, but I'll be completely prepared to go and get that, because they have 20. 10 PlayStation go by so quick. I mean, I got like $625 for my PS5, so I might just go ahead and get it. But I'm glad I'm not like a kid anymore and stuff like that. I don't have to wait for my parents to do it, but at the same time, I have to make sure that I'm good in a sense. Before I can make a purchase like that, because I mean, if you make a big purchase like that, you probably never going to get that, you might be in a hole. I was watching the thing where someone was talking about, like, it was 21 Savage. The thing talking about put 50% of your earnings and stuff like that to the side to stuff you actually need, like rent, like food. 30% of your stuff to stuff you actually want, and then 20% into your savings. I mean, that's a good philosophy and stuff like that, but the thing about me, in a way, I think that a lot of stuff needs to stop being simplified, or then you're having the wrong proponents and stuff to try to show. I mean, that's a good campaign because, you know, it may get people to start thinking more so about their money. But the thing that I think is stupid, people be getting people Audemars watches. You spent 20K on a bust down, but I mean, what's 20K on a bust down? And your teeth and stuff is jacked up, like, you know, and you got these people get with the grills. Like, getting a grill is just so terrible. And getting a grill is kind of unprofessional too, because I know there's people at my school that literally wear grills. And why did I say get the grill? It's like unprofessional wearing a grill. I mean, it is unprofessional if you think about it. Now, one of the reasons why I probably would say people shouldn't get the grill is because, like, you know, your dental health. Just because you have a grill doesn't mean you don't brush your teeth. Like, that's just nasty. And the nastiest thing I think someone done is take the grill out of their mouth and had $17 in their pocket and just counting it, and they put it on the side of their ear. That is so nasty. That literally is so nasty. And counting money, like, dude, you only have, I don't even know if it was a real grill. Nigga only had $17. Nigga didn't even have a haircut. Like, bro. He put his grill on the side of his ear. Like, he had big ears. That's just nasty, bro. And I was just like in a place just trying to pick up my food. Like, bro, it's nasty. And the thing about it, too, that stuff's not sanitary. Like, you doing that is just not sanitary. Like, if you had to think about it, like, grills and stuff, they have to be clean. Like, anytime that you have, like, a retainer and stuff like that, you're supposed to put it in some type of tablet. It's like some type of formula. It's like blue. My sister uses that because she got retainers. I got permanent retainers in my teeth, on my teeth right now. But, but yeah, like, there's a lot of stuff that I don't get, man. People be doing like a grill. Like, a grill is just not good. Like, I would never buy. Like, someone told me they spent like 12K on a grill, or $13,000 on a grill, but the teeth are jacked up. I'm looking at them like they're crazy. Your teeth, and I mean that, like, your teeth is seriously, girls won't talk to you, got a jacked up grill, bro. What? That was lag. That was bullshit. That was lag.